I was very pleased that almost every two-show that spoke recognized the incredible work that education has been doing and thanked us for that. They don't need to, it's our duty. But I was very happy to hear that we're being felt in every single village across the regions 1, 7, 8, and 9. Some of the issues raised are fairly common and some of them are unique to the villages. So transportation, water, getting teachers appointed. You know, that's something done by the Teaching Service Commission. So those are some of the small issues. Learning channel, whenever the satellite goes down because of weather, that we get it up quickly. And you know, so for me that does two things. That tells me you've been paying attention, you've been watching, so you know when it's off. Right. And that's a good thing, because these villages never had the learning channel before. We also heard openly from two shows how they were abandoned in the years 2015 to 2020, how nobody paid attention, how not a single minister ever visited any of the villages where the people spoke about, for example, Obadiah and so on. So all in all, I think it was a very useful meeting. We spent a lot of time listening with a view to responding in action. And so I'm very glad that we were able to have this opportunity. But you know, we don't wait for two shows to come out here. This is important because at the governance level, it's important for two shows to meet amongst themselves and to have this conference and to have the interaction with central government. But we don't wait. One quarter to more of my time is spent in the hinterland, right, as you know, right, because I think that's where our service is most needed. And that's where we get to see less of what the issues are, because out here you have all kinds of different media and forums where we can get that information. So we don't generally, not only me, but other ministers, we don't wait until people come out. We make sure we get the information in.
The ministry has invested heavily in infrastructure.
Very,
in the hinterland.
Yeah.
What was the response from the two shows and the village leaders about this investment that would see the youths in these indigenous communities having or being on par with the education being offered?
Well, you know, within 2 weeks, all hinterland 1, 7, 8, and 9 would have received more than $2 billion in the cash grant. But that's the least of the investment. Karasabai is being built at $1.7 million. Posororo is being built at another close to $1.2 billion. So right now in Region 1, we're building 5 secondary schools. In Region 7, we're building 4 secondary schools. In Region 8, we're building 3 secondary schools. In Region 9, we're building 7 secondary schools. That is more secondary schools being built in one Irfanali term than the Regions 1, 7, 8, and 9 ever saw ever before for their entire existence. And education, as you know, to be cliched, is the key that will take advancement to communities, it will take people out of poverty, that will offer opportunities, that will allow people to thrive, will bring about equality of opportunities. And so everybody recognized that, and that's why you heard when I was speaking, I was interrupted quite a bit by cheers from the entire community. And that's the other thing. You don't see one region say, oh, you've done well. It's the entire 1, 7, 8, 9, all the two shows, all the leaders that were there recognizing the good work that we've done.
My name is Leon Thomas, two-show from St. Monica Carwab, region number 2. With the government, I don't have a complaint about the government, but I have a compliment what they are doing in my community. For the education, they are doing, let me say, excellent. They have the cash grant, they have new schools built, fence, and things you can talk about. Transportation, breakfast and the hot meals, everything in my community. So I must say thanks to the government, what they are doing in my community.
My village is Parabara, Deep South, Region 9. and that's the second to last village in Deep South. Most of the problems that we had in our community concerning education was addressed. We had two meetings. One was RTC in Letem, where we would have raised all the problems that we have in the community. So where the region would have take what they can and what we could have bring to the national level. Right, so far all the discussions and the promises and everything that's happening, I want to say we are at least 98% sure that where we are going, it's the right track. In education and everywhere. Yeah.
Now, was your village able to do any projects in terms of the LCDS funds?
Yes, we were able to do actually 3 projects. We were allocated 15 million, and we also purchased a vehicle with that fund. And some of the funds went to purchasing lights for the streets and so in our community. So we did a lot of projects and we almost complete everything.
So my name is Greg Williams, to show for Riversview/Falmouth. I must commend the Minister, Prayer Manichan, Honorable Prayer Manichan, for the hard work she's doing. There was a lot had said, especially over the 4 years compared to the previous government. So yes, some really good programs there is going on. And I must say, education is doing pretty well in my village. Even though we don't have a big population of students, I would have liked if this government, this minister could, build a school for us, because it is growing. Also in Falmouth, which is a satellite of my village, Riversview, I oversee all two, they have 85 students there. We were requesting also a primary school for Falmouth, and that current school there we transferred into the North School. I feel that there is hope, even though it might not be this year, but I feel there is hope in getting our school. Also, the same education that you mentioned, the radio program, the TV, learning curriculum, they'll be right there. Trained teachers don't have to leave their village. They can get the same level of university learning at the comfort of their own home. And so I feel comfortable and I feel more secure as a leader in Riversview. Yeah.
My name is Natasha Dublin. I'm from Thomas Hill in Region 1, Mabruma.
So today was about education infrastructure. What did you hear from the minister, and how do you feel about education advancing in indigenous areas?
Well, so far from the minister, what we have heard today is that they will put more, you could say like more emphasis in whatever where it comes to education development. And that is so good, where she also mentioned about textbook will be given for the children to increase in their learning. And I believe that is a good initiative for school children.
The ministry is building several schools in indigenous regions.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
That is good, because we do not have a school in our community as yet, because due to our population. So more later down in the years, maybe when we increase in our population, then we can have our own school.
My name is Simon Lacan. I'm the CDC chair for Immaterial Community.
Great. Today was about education, infrastructure. Tell us a bit about what you heard from the government side, concerns raised by fellow Tushaus, and then what's happening in your community.
Yeah, in the community, we're doing some projects, and the project is like housing project, and also we doing like we plan to do a poultry project also, But right now, presently now, just one project we're doing, and we now start.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Is this your first time at the NTC?
No, the second time.
Have you seen any improvements from
Yeah.
last year to this year?
Yeah.
Tell me about two.
Yeah, well, the improvement is that coming to NTC is good because the government promise and responding to the people requests immediately, and that to me that is good, and there is improvement.
By seeing this report, the hearing minister was saying, I really appreciate it that it will continue. It is going to develop, and progressive is still going on right across in our communities. So I think our children is doing very good through the education, and they have to learning in K2 secondary school. And the next secondary school, I really appreciate that it will be more near for my village again. So hopefully in the years in the future, you'll get another secondary school.